Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel. On the video today we're going to do something kind of interesting because now I'm kind of getting orders. People are asking me to make stuff, they're looking for certain things, so I'm kind of fulfilling that and also learning along the way what I'm capable of doing and how to perform and get those things done. Sometimes I fail and then have to make another one, but that doesn't affect what it costs to the customer. It's just something that I learn along the way. Especially like with this job that I'm going to show you now. So I've been asked to make a shifter for a car. I'll show you an example of kind of what I'm looking at. So this person asked, because they have a sports car, this person asked for a round style shifter filled with bullets and clear. And then they also asked for my creative ingenuity because they wanted to accent the interior of the car, because there's a few things in this person's car that's red. So a subtle red. So I went and got some molds, all different size molds, round molds like this, and made a bunch of balls. I made 3 or 4. All around the same size, 1 3/4, 2 inches, 2 1/4, and 2 1/2. And I just casted some balls and I took them to this person, and then I had them grab it and imagine it was a shifter, imagine shifting through the gears to see what size they prefer. So they ended up going with this one, the 2 inch. Boom, we got the size decked out. Now down the line, somebody else might want some bigger one or a smaller one. Clear, I can do. Subtle redness as far as bullets. So anybody that knows anything about bullets might already know where I'm going with this. So I'm assuming he's going to watch the video on how this is made afterwards. But what I chose to do, if you guys are into bullets, like I said, you already know where I'm going, because there is a bullet with a red tip, Hornady Critical Defense. They make the polymer red tip bullet. Whole bunch of different calibers, but as you can see right here, it's got a red tip. Subtle. What's really nice about this one that I found, it's also got a chrome case, so it's going to look really good. If you can see it there, it's going to look really good inside that clear ball. The only other obstacle we had to, and it was a huge obstacle, we had to get over was the proper threading for the shifter itself, the actual the shaft, the handle of the shifter. So let's see if I can. The knob would go down onto the shaft like this, and then it would screw down on there like a nut. Finding the right size was a pain in. Going on Amazon looking for the right type of insert, because my plan is to take an insert like this, cast it into the ball, and then basically have this screw down on top of it. So even when I look up on the Subaru websites, they all gave me a size 25 mil and a 12 by 125 thread pitch. Now that's what this is. So I take it, we take his original ball off and we go to put it on. This don't fit. So I'm like, oh, I almost got the wrong size. Order another one. That one don't fit. Order another one. All different. That one don't fit. So now both of us are just scratching our head and trying to figure out what we did wrong and trying to figure out where we need to go and get this thing. It turns out we're both just stupid. So the 25 millimeter 12 by 125 is not the inside, because this is a converter to make it smaller. It's the outside of this. The outside of this is the exact size of the shaft for the car. So what I'm looking for is something to go on the outside of this. So I found helicoil, and it's gonna be difficult with one hand, but I'll do the best I can for you guys. So, like I said, the best I can with one hand. It screws into it like this. So now this will go inside the ball like that. It'll be cast, and then when it's turned upside down and put on the shifter, it should screw right down, in theory. So we're going to try that. We're going to try to get this all together, and I do have a cool project coming up, and a little sneak peek is right there. That's for a future video. If you know what that is, it's a chess set. I'm also making resin chess sets, and so far they've been coming out pretty cool and difficult at the same time. So another video, but today we're going to try to cast this. The insert itself, camera around here, the insert itself won't reach the bottom of this, which is good. Fill this up with clear resin and shells, and I'm also going to suspend this in a way where it's not going to fall down, and then gently and creatively pour the resin into there, trying to create as minimal bubbles as possible, and hopefully it'll work. So I won't be able to film a lot of this because I only have one hand, and this is really not optimal on this table here. So I'm gonna kind of bring it back when I get to a certain stopping point. Okay, so the mold is set. I put in the bullets. They kind of just sank to the bottom, but I tried to keep it as random as possible. So when this does get flipped over, it will be on the top. It'll appear that they're floating in there. That threaded insert is in there. I ended up hot gluing that to that stick and getting the resin up as close as I could to the top. As you'll see right in there, I got it as close as I could to the top so I could try to eliminate having to do a lot of fixing. Getting the bubbles out is going to be hard. Hopefully a lot of these just rise to the top. I think I see them moving a little bit. When I casted those balls for demonstration to see about size, pretty much all of the bubbles came out down there, and then there was a few at the top. I'm assuming because of the way the ball is curved and it's not, technically straight up, they're going to collect up there, and there's probably not much I can do about it. I'm going to do some research after I'm done with this project to see how I could clean that up and get these balls crystal clear. But I even poured it on the stick. I poured it real slow, trying to alleviate as many bubbles as I could. Even when I mixed it in a way that there is no bubbles. But when you add things into your project, people don't take in consideration what I'm doing because nobody's doing it. Bullets, they're not like perfectly sealed, and so I could show you on this one here. You see this little space right here between the shell and the brass? This bullet's just pressed in there. It's not sealed up. Even the primer area, it's not perfectly sealed. Especially these cheaper bullets here, because 22s are sometimes the only shells I can get inside stuff. These happen to be 9mm by 18 Makarov rounds, but it's not a perfect seal. So as the resin silks in, like it'll start to seep into the shell, when it's going in there, bubbles come out, and those bubbles that are created by those shells have to rise to the top. So it is something that most people that are making these balls wouldn't account for, because they're not putting bullets inside theirs. They might be putting just some solid object that's not going to create bubbles. So it's just something I have to deal with. But I'm going to kind of babysit a little bit here. Tap it a little bit every now and then. Maybe I can get these bubbles to come up towards the top. But I don't want to mess with it too much because I believe I have it set almost perfectly. But we will see you soon. Okay, so it's 24 hours later since I left you with the shifter ball, and here it is. I know it's hard to see, but it does actually look pretty good. Now, I would consider this a deep pour, because you got to remember, even though it's only this big, this is 2 inches thick in the middle, so that is considered a deep pour. So you would optimally like this to fully cure before you demold this or anything like that. But I can't wait. I really want to see this thing. The only thing, I will wait another day only because right here at the top, you see that little space right there? I'm going to pull this stick off and then you'll see. Okay, so I pulled the stick off. So you see right there. You could see in there. See, it's really clear. But you see, like right there, there's probably 1/8 of an inch of that insert that's sticking up above the resin. So it's just a small little space that I want to fill. I want that even with the bottom of the insert. I don't want that sticking down. But that's just me. There's nothing wrong with that sticking down. So I'm going to mix up a tiny bit of resin and fill that. And then the rest of this actually looks pretty good. There are some bubbles at the bottom of the insert, if you could see here. But even if I degassed all this resin firsthand, as soon as I stuck that insert inside there, I feel like we would have the same issue anyways. I'm just kind of like looking in there. Remember, this is the same diameter as the shaft. Oh, it's a little bit of hot glue in the way. I think there's some gook on the threads. And here we have it. So the insert does go all the way down in. So I'm super stoked. This is the first shifter I've ever made. I already know I can make them better. I'm just gonna have to challenge myself the next time. But for a first try, and for somebody just to say, hey, can you make a shifter and make it clear and put some bullets in it, I don't think I did too bad. So let me get this finished up, and then I'll come back to you guys for this video when this is demolded and ready to be cleaned up and presented to the new owner. Okay, it's gonna be a little hard to see because like I said, it's still in the mold, but I'll point to it here with the stick. That area right there where you see the line, that's where the resin stopped on the first pour. Now you can see it goes right up to the lip on that insert at the top of the mold. So I've taken up the space, the gap that was at the top of the mold. So this should work pretty good. Now again, let's see here. Alright, now you can see in there. See all these like you know, against the mold bubbles, like little micro things, and like how it's cloudy, but like look in the center and you can see all the bullets way down at the bottom. That shows you that it's ultra clear down in there. So it should turn out good, and there'll be little to no gap between the top of this insert and the resin itself. Okay, and we are done with the shifter. I just removed it from the mold, and I couldn't be happier. Very, very minor bubbles, but here it is. Isn't that cool? And then subtle red, as the customer requested, is cleared. We got the insert installed so that you could screw it on the post for his shifter, and when he is shifting, look at that. We'll have a good clear view of the bullets inside. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. This is Josh. I'd like to thank you for coming by. Make sure you subscribe, get those subscribers up so we can get this channel growing, and we'll see you next time. Different
that is badass
setup than you had before, but
oh yeah,
it should work, right?
No, that's gonna work just fine. Feels pretty good.
Yeah, and I did it like where the shells are at the top, so even if like you are shifting or holding it, you can still see it.
I can, yeah, exactly.
So as you can see, he liked his gear shift knob. This is the first time I've ever tried something like this, so moving forward, if someone would like something similar, I'm sure they're only gonna get better. So hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to Rustic Creations, and we'll see you next time.